Disruption Networks.
I'm live right now. Here, happy 3 o'clock on it's Wednesday, right?
I don't even know what day it is, so
It's daytime. To EC Radio in the D, and for the first time in the history of EC Radio, the interviewer is going to be the interviewee. And I can't believe I talked you into that. You know what? I didn't even talk you into it.
yes, you did.
I'm not really.
Yes, you did. We were drunk, having a good time talking. We're on house party, all that, or whatever we were doing.
That's like I said. I didn't talk you into it. I just sound like a good idea. You know them 3 a.m. good ideas.
Yeah.
So
Hey, hey, pal, can we back up a little bit? Why don't you tell the people who you are?
Poster down.
One down.
One down.
You took all
so
that time to build up your set, too.
I know. I didn't have a production crew, because of the virus. But my name is Aaron Marr. I won't say my nickname because I feel awkward doing that. We'll get into that later and the origin of my nickname. A lot of people probably don't even know that I'm Aaron Marr.
Probably.
And my first guest today is Anthony Donaldson, and probably some people don't know that. And I'm not going to call you by your nickname. We're on first name, last name basis.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thanks for letting me do this. I mean, I can't believe you are, but I am honored that you are. And does it feel like you have a 16-year-old daughter, and I just pulled in a driveway to take her out on a date and said I'll be right back? Is that how you kind of feel right now?
Yeah, almost like that time we stole that Cadillac and took it for about 2 summers. But we'll get into that later.
We'll get into that later. But we've been known to kidnap people, cars, bands. So anyways, let's do this, Z. So,
okay.
I just called you Z. Anthony.
That's it. So every time you call me Z, everybody's got a drink.
Everybody drink. That's one.
We'll turn this into a drinking game.
Perfect. So let's do this, Anthony.
Yes, Aaron.
Let's give people a brief summary, very brief, because it's going to be boring, about the history of you. So you're a Utica prodigy, right?
I would call it native, but prodigy,
native.
Yeah.
Okay, native. Multiple junior high schools, and then on to Proctor.
Just multiple schools in general. Yes. Be kind of just in and out, and shout out to all my high schools.
What and then you lived with your aunt and uncle, and you ditched.
I ditched them. I moved out to Vegas with my family. That's back in the early '90s, correct? And graduated high school in '93 at Green Valley High School in Henderson, Nevada.
I know that school.
Yeah, the Green Valley Gators.
Yeah.
Go Gators. I barely spent any time there because the curriculum was much different than New York, and I was able to get out at like 11 o'clock and go work and bag groceries at a grocery store. I didn't even really hang out in high school in Vegas too much. Just got my diploma and bounced.
I mean, I think it's an accomplishment to graduate from high school in Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was like 90210, actually, because 90210 was kind of a thing back then. And the kids just reminded me of 90210. Those kids were driving like BMWs, and it was like a ritzy type of school back then. Nowadays, it's really not, because it's grown so much in Vegas. It's considered like
Vegas.
School.
There's no Vegas, Henderson to Vegas. There's no in between. It's just one blur.
Yeah, it is. But an interesting fact: my class in 1993 is the first graduating class of that high school.
Really?
Yep.
How many students?
Like 1,000
Yeah.
plus. I don't even know. I guess I really didn't even hang out much. I mean, I was in high school. I'm living out in Vegas, and I was working and getting high.
Well, you moved to Sin City from the original Sin City.
Yeah, right. I had no chance.
Yeah,
I had no chance. So I had to bounce back and come back to the U. And that's probably pretty much where I caught up with you, was when I came back from Vegas.
Yeah, I was I was speaking to a few people, and we narrowed it down to the fall of '96. You know what happens in the fall, you know what happens in the fall up here, what time of year it is. And so I met Mike Mamrosh, good friend of mine from Boonville, great artist, was doing artwork for Joe Sweet and Nine Ball. And so I knew him, and I was crashing at Mark Cohn and Heather Mamrosh. Shout out to Heather Mamrosh Carbone. And Joe had the coffee shop on the corner. And I went down, met Joe, and then I met you at his apartment. And do you remember that day? Because I do, because the look on your face was fear or just, maybe
more like it was probably disgust.
Disgust. Who's this shady, But so that was the fall of '96, 420 Herkimer Road.
Right. Well, interesting fact. I mean, I didn't like you until up into about maybe a decade ago or so, right?
No, up until last week when I talked to you. And,
we were drinking. I do gotta say, pal, you look great, man. You look healthy.
Thank you.
You do. You look vibrant, and I'm proud. I know where you were a couple months ago, and to see you healthy and alive and to be doing this is awesome. And thank God, and count your blessings, pal. I think you do have. I think you have 9 lives. I think you do.
Right. Yeah, not anymore.
Well, now you got like 6.
Yeah, I mean, I think for both of us to survive, once we maybe get through part of this timeline, some stories, people will be shocked that we're both alive and doing this right now.
Okay.
In all seriousness, I mean, a lot of people did not survive.
True.
And
right.
we won't get into that yet either. But
all right, so continue on with your timeline. This is
so fall '96, and then I met Todd Hunter through I think through Joe, and you were like in and out of the picture. I didn't. Joe's your cousin, correct?
Yeah, Paisan. Yep, of course.
Paisan.
Yep. Yeah.
So you were hanging out, and who else lived with Joe? Scooter.
Man.
Scoot, remember Scooter?
The dude had so many roommates, but they had a revolving door of roommates.
Well, there was Seamus.
But yeah, Scooter. There was Scooter at one time.
Seamus that went out with Gina.
Yep.
Gina C. And but yeah, you just had to look like you didn't fucking trust me one bit.
And I still don't.
Yeah. Well, that's you know what? That's good intuition right there. So then Todd Hunter came in the picture in mid-October of '96.
Okay.
And he opened up on Bleecker Street.
Yeah, I remember that.
First part.
I was there for that.
I think you were a guinea pig.
Well, we used to pass out flyers. It was cold. I remember being freezing cold, and we were putting flyers on windshields of cars to promote the tattoo business. We were also promoting bands. I was working at K-Rock at the time as well. And,
you were at K-Rock then?
Yeah. So we were out there on the promotion game and doing disc jockeying and a lot of different things, man. We were just on the grind, hustling. We were hustling.
Well,
promoting music, promoting the tattoo shop, and raging all in between,
Yeah. Well, promoting Utica and the scene, because there really wasn't a scene at that point, I don't think. I think a combination of, you, Todd, Joe, that we could get into Captain Chips, but I do remember you getting tattooed because Todd didn't have any customers and we were shooting pool. He had a pool table in the studio. So when people would get bored, they'd get inked.
I'm inked.
Yes. So that well, Todd Hunter had an old Monte Carlo. Todd, shout out. He had an old Monte Carlo, and he used to come up to my place on Cassuth and you know, come say hi.
Yeah. We don't have to get into logistics of things, pal. I think it's not going to be a big surprise to everybody to know what your extracurriculars were.
Yeah. Sorry, Mom. And Joe had the coffee shop. So you were at K-Rock. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
I think that's when all the craziness started bubbling up. And obviously we're at the point where you don't like me still at this point and don't trust me.
Yeah, right.
So tell me about K-Rock. How'd that happen?
So K-Rock, it started with, I used to intern for a guy by the name of Brad Davies, who was down in Houston. He was Bill Keeler's sidekick, but him and Keeler split. And Brad was the morning guy over at the old Rock 107, if you remember that station. Yep. And I was the intern with Brad for then. And that kind of just morphed into K-Rock because K-Rock was right down the hall. And that's when they were going into the modern rock style format that they currently exist in. But it was like more of a solid rock prior to that, where they were just playing like Pantera and just like heavier metal and stuff like that. They went through multiple transformations, but that was also right around the same time that they did the original K-Rockathon. I was there for the first two.
10 bands, $10.
10 bands, $10. Butthole Surfers and like Seven Mary
Chuck
3.
Chale. Shout out to Chuck.
It was the first time I ever got in front of like 20,000 people and did announcements, which was cool. I loved that rush. That was
working for the radio station, you would introduce bands and stuff on stage?
For sure. We were up on with the morning show when I was working with Kid Chris, Kid Chris has gone on to do huge shit. He's down in, I think he's in Cincinnati right now. I'm still friends with him on Facebook, but and then he went all over the place. He's been on Howard Stern and shit. Kid Chris has gone on to do some great shit. So if you haven't heard of him, go look him up because the guy's a radio legend. And then the other guy was the Fat Man in the morning, if you remember him.
Yes, I do.
And we were out there doing crazy shit in the morning, and we had a great time. We had to lock down for a while, but then I got fired, and then I moved over to WOUR, and that's
what was Fat Man?
That was.
What we got OUR booked in at 1998.
98, yeah.
Was Fat Man really fat because he was on the radio? I never saw him, or was that?
Yeah, he was a large man.
Oh, okay.
He was a fun guy, man. I had a lot of fun with him. We traveled up and down the bars and took limousines and see concerts, and we had a great run for a minute there. And
there's a lot of pressure walking onto a stage with that many people, because if you suck, they're gonna let you know it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to be the hype guy.
Yeah.
And you got to get
the Italian Flavor Flav, man.
Oh, I got a Flavor Flav story. Let me write this down. We're never going to make it through one question.
It's okay. I think you're all right.
Because I watched one of your past interviews, and we were talking about, that's the picture of me passed out, taking a nap with the clock on me. Remember on one of your past interviews, we were talking about that K-Rock.
Yeah.
Because I have a ticket to it, actually, or a backstage pass, but yeah, Flavor Flav. What a crew. Stacy, that's a great story. We're going to have to tell that one a little later. Let's go. Let's rewind again. All right, so you get done with K-Rock. And how do you weasel your way into being a DJ at K-Rock? I mean, did you
It just kind of morphed into it. They needed like a part-timer when I was interning there, and I just so happened to be there.
And you're like
the draw, right place, right time. You know, the program director took a liking to me, and I got in and I learned my thing. And then it's right around the same time Scorch was in, so I learned a lot from Scorch.
Yeah.
And then him and I hung tight right around them for those couple of years. I was at K-Rock, so it's still friends with Scorch to this day. So he was a mentor. Jeff Storm's another mentor.
Jeff Storm.
Remember Jeff? I mean,
I do remember Jeff. I remember his ex-wife too.
Yeah. Gina, great friend, of course.
Gina
but yeah, those guys were what shaped me into being a radio DJ, and then
right. But I think you're a natural. That's your, you know, your vibe or your attitude or whatever. You know, I think that was a natural fitting for you to be a DJ. All right,
yeah,
so then where were we living during K-Rock? Because I remember listening to you on the radio, and we were out causing havoc.
Yeah, every night.
You would get off the radio and tell us where you were going, and that's where we would go.
Yeah.
we listened to K-Rock in the car. I can remember some friends I was with, and you would do like the late shift or would get off at midnight.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm going to the Metro, you know, and all of a sudden, boom, Metro will be blowing up.
That would be like on a Saturday night on a weekend shift.
Saturday, Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Either you or Curly. Right. Curly was DJing at the same time.
Rest in peace, Curly.
Rest in peace, Curly. We'll get into him later. All right. So where were you living during K-Rock?
Where was I living?
You weren't on a night of
I think I was here. I think it was here, my house currently, which was my grandmother's house at the time, and I bought the house back in 2009. So
grandmother on your dad's side?
Mama Leone.
On mom's side?
Yeah, Grandma Leone. You remember Grandma? She used to hang out at the bar sometimes. Remember? She used to pick up the quarters and sweep up a little bit sometimes.
I met her downstairs, actually.
And you met her downstairs, yes.
Mama Leone.
Yeah, and not to jump off the timeline, but before we started the Zoom, you reminded me of an interesting fact that you have DNA in this bedroom that I'm in right now. And we'll just leave it at that, and we'll move on with the timeline.
There's multiple DNA. If you sprayed that room with luminol, turn the lights off, put a blue light on, black light on.
That's it.
There would be, but then you'd have to figure out the other DNAs.
Yeah.
Because there's multiple, besides mine. Right. I don't want to know who else is in there.
It looked like a tie-dye T-shirt.
Yes, it did. Just me alone, there's got to be, when I say multiple, I say more than two.
Yeah.
That's another story.
All right, so I think I'm living here at K-Rock, and then I think right around 1997 is when I move in with Han and E.
What a trio that was.
Woof. That's when my education really kicked in, if you know what I mean.
That's when you were like, this guy's back. Wait a minute, he's friends and from the same town as my roommate. I'm never gonna get rid of him. I remember like barely feeling comfortable sleeping on the couch there.
Right, and this is chapter 2. I would say this is chapter 2 right here. And Aaron, it's important to address the fact that at this point in time in my life, when I'm living with Pan, who is a guy who lives in your region there, and Eric, that I don't like you at this current time too. I still don't like me. Not at all.
That's what I'm saying. You're like, what the fuck is he doing? Can I swear on this show?
Yeah, I encourage it.
Okay. But you were like, what the fuck is this guy doing back around me? Because, like, you know, I blasted on scene pretty hard and
a little bit.
We weren't around each other only by chance. Did you go to were you in the van trip with Joe when we went to the Atlantis?
And saw Mo and Moon Boot Lover and all them. Yeah, the rock the boat thing.
Yoke and C-Pods. Okay.
Yeah.
So you had to suffer through a van ride with me.
Right, and you were on fire that night for some reason. That's like you were. Yeah, I remember that. Let's not talk about that. Can we just continue on with your?
But I remember you not liking me then.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you still didn't like me.
And you bring that up, I probably will. It'll rehash old memories, actually.
I just remember almost wrecking in the van on the ride home. But that was my first experience with that scene. That was a Chuck Terrell show.
Yeah, it probably was.
It was Rock the Vote or something.
Yeah, so it was. That was cool. That was the first time I ever seen that. It was Mo, Moon Boot Lover, Ominous C-Pods, and Yo. Yeah. And they would morph their sets into each other. Like there was no dead air. It was
they switched.
There was a different lineup every night, and who was playing with who. And
I think they actually switched instruments.
One of the first 2 or 3 times I actually saw Mo.
It was the first time I saw Mo, but I think Yoke blew everybody.
Yeah, Yoke was.
Because they would switch, like you said, one band open one night, whatever. Then they would switch instruments. You didn't never know who's on stage, but Yoke come out. I think it's the only time I saw them, and they just tore it up. The bass player from Yoke was sick.
High energy band. High energy band, and drumming. And Jimmy Laughlin being their drummer at the time too.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, so we go to a night street. Then we jump in. Then how do you get with OUR? How do you jump ship? And they're like, they K-Rock, come on with us.
Well, no, I got fired from K-Rock, and then I just kind of morphed right into OUR. I had known a couple people over there, and they took me in, and so I was just doing weekends and stuff like that. But
was Genesee Joe there?
Yeah.
Time? Yep.
Yep. That's actually when I started becoming tight with him and the Dr. Jerry Krause and
Dr. Jerry Krause. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, I forgot about Allison. Yeah.
I was a little rough around the edges for them. I was a little too cutting edge for WOUR at the time.
You're still rough around the edges, but
yeah, right. They were as I used to get scolded by the old program director. He scolded me a few times. That's when I kind of bounced too. But he scolded me a few times. We're a heritage station, and we don't pull pranks like that, and blah, blah. I'm like, whatever. I was having fun. It's the weekend.
Hey,
let's have some fucking fun, pal.
He's got to earn his pay. He's got to put up with DJs and...
Yeah, I was having fun, taking calls and hanging up on people and giving away tickets.
Oh, you were a prankster. I mean,
I was having fun, and so I didn't conform to their way of thinking. And that's actually when Clear Channels came in and took over OUR. Right. And I was like, you know what, screw this. And I had this hippie girlfriend at the time, and we said, screw it, we're going on the road to go see Fish. And that's when I just
that we think is the summer.
I think that was 99. I would say summer of 99, yeah. Yeah, because I wasn't there for Woodstock 99.
And that's a great story because you're the lucky one that didn't have to see the massacre in Rome.
All right.
We had fun for a little bit because the Funk Daddies played the welcoming stage. And we didn't know. We got given passes, but I never had, like, backstage credentials. And it was so crazy. I didn't know where I was supposed to go. I was getting trouble. Some people just went backstage. It was a free-for-all.
Free-for-all, yeah.
People went backstage.
Part of me is a little sad that I missed it, but
don't be sad.
I'm glad that I wasn't there. I was in Alpine Valley, Wisconsin.
At the
time Woodstock was going on.
I wish, because at this point you still don't like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I wish you did and said, hey, I'm fucking getting out of here. I'll go for a cruise to Wisconsin because I'm all about road trips, spontaneous road trips.
Mm-hmm.
But you're lucky you didn't.
Thanks, man.
I saw people swimming in poop and pee.
So we're at 1999. Where does this lead us to?
1999.
Yeah, refresh my brain.
Well, who's your girlfriend? Do you remember?
I don't want to say her name, but the one in Rochester.
Okay, the Rochester girl.
Yeah, and then we got into a big blowout, and I moved to Florida right after that.
Okay, so I got 99 to 2000 Florida because that was Big Cypress.
That was Big Cypress, which we all attended together. And actually, wait, I will admit a little bit. I liked you that weekend.
Yes.
Because you had all the drugs.
Yes.
And
I had the money, the drugs. Remember, I had a case of champagne. Do you remember? Listen, and this is, I think, where we started. Like, I started winning you over. You were blushing, and we were going into where the venue was separate, and there was long line, and Fish started, and they had the back fence was like bamboo.
Yeah.
And we crawled through there. And I don't know if you remember this, but we realized
we were smuggling bottles of champagne in.
Smuggling the champagne and whatever else, because you were getting patted down going in. And then we realized that everybody that was in the campgrounds all day long would walk over and piss on the fence.
Uh-huh.
So when we went through, we're like, fuck.
Walking through a trail of piss.
And then we're like, fuck it. We had champagne and and God knows what else, and didn't get caught.
That was a wild weekend. That was
crazy.
That's something that I totally left a lot of brain cells on the Indian reservation in Florida that weekend.
Do you know, I want to give a shout out to Rich Stemmer for turning me on to Imodium AD.
The corks?
It works because when we went to Big Cypress, you know that heat in Florida, you know porta potties, you know festivals. Rich Stemmer's like, dude, Imodium AD. And I remember we all met up and drove in. Then it was 3-4 days in there, drove out, and I was solid till I got back to the crew, so to your apartment. And
awesome.
Nice solid one. And that's
all right.
A shout out to Rich Summer.
Yeah.
So anybody out there that does, Coachella, you're going to Bonnaroo, Imodium AD, I don't know if you want to sniff it, shoot it, pop it. It's over the counter. I highly recommend it. Maybe they should be a sponsor, Z. All right,
and that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is a Boonville public service announcement sponsored by attorney Dave Longaretta.
Yes.
That's how you drop them in there at Boonville.
That's how you drop them in. Well, listen, I want to
But I got to say, you're doing a good job right now.
Thank you. People are probably going, this is boring.
No, go ahead. Continue on. What do we got on
I want to thank Saranac Brewery. I mean, I don't have to say anymore. Fred, Matt, and family, Dave, and the whole crew, the bands, the relationship, the beer.
The beer.
Love the beer. Hey, Fred, Matt, David, bring pomegranate wheat back, please.
Ooh, good one.
Good summer beer.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're in a 2000 year in Florida. What were you doing in Florida?
Working at Kinko's, actually.
Oh
no. Wait, I worked at Kinko's for a minute, right? But then I worked at Starbucks in Clematis Street.
Oh, my God. Don't.
At West Palm Beach. Dude, it was dope. I was feeding coffee to Mark McGuire. And
no, that's not dope. I wouldn't. Todd
William Forsythe. And it was like 6 a.m. Like all these actors would come in, and Mark McGuire came in. And it was nuts because their spring training was right there.
Oh, baseball.
Baseball, yeah.
Okay, I'll let you have that back.
2000. That's March of 2000.
That's
February,
March. I was going to have
March
Todd.
2000.
I was going to have Todd edit that part, but as long as you got Mark McGuire in there.
Yeah. So
I thought you meant the singer Mark.
No, that's Mark McGrath. Yeah,
McGrath. Because that's what I was like.
I just want to fly. Okay, yeah. Continue on. This is fun. This is like Anthony Donaldson. This is your life, right?
This is your life. I got that written down. That was going to be my intro.
Okay.
Welcome to This Is Your Life. But so we got shitty jobs in Florida. It's not working out.
Not at all.
You're missing home.
Yeah, Curly dies. Actually, I come home for Curly's thing.
Curly dies. I got that story too, but this isn't about me. So I was on my way to Florida and someone came and found me and the night before I was leaving and said your friend Curly passed away, and I stuck around and went. So you got to Florida. I was going to Florida. We all met at the funeral home at Mr. McGill's, and then I don't think we remember much. I remember having a bar tab, epic bar tab, and a bunch of good friends just sat around and had a good time and a bad time. It was a shitty deal.
Yeah. Let's turn the mood.
Let's switch. Okay. But anyways, we got fucked up after Curly's deal. Okay, so now you're back in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Now what do you start doing? Is this when you go on the road doing greeting cards?
Wow. Yeah. That was like my part-time job.
You guys would go travel, you, bro.
Well, actually, no. I was doing greeting cards well before all that, too. It was always kind of been a job that I weaved in and out of throughout those years because of Brown. And yes, I was doing it. I can always go back to doing the greeting cards was always my thing. Like, hey, if I don't make it here,
you go do like a weekend setup. It was always my
fallback thing. Yeah, go do a weekend setup or something like that. So I always did have that. To answer your question, I was probably weaving in and out of that for sure. But I was also, we got is the Funk Daddies going that? No. I'm
Yes.
helping Joe. We're doing festivals at that time.
Yes.
Booking shows at
SoFlo
Captain
ticket.
Trips. I'm doing shows at the Metro.
SoFlo was 2003.
Well, that was the one at. I was doing the ones prior to
Lionsville.
that. Yeah,
That was with Particle Vince. He had a great lineup. I can't believe he didn't do better.
I did the first two with him. Remember on that Guy's Land?
Yeah, that was.
That,
no, in Boonville at Dana's. You used to own the
Dana.
Hober House. Yes.
Yeah,
Passed away.
great guy.
Passed away from leukemia.
Yeah, he had a beautiful piece of land where
Still got it. His son has got it.
Never forget two things: Scotty Palooza, DJing all night long, and the sheriff lived right next door, right, playing till 5 a.m, going nuts in his rave tent, and then 2, waking up in the morning and seeing all the naked girls in the river. It was great.
Yeah,
but we lost a shit ton of money.
Yeah. South Catherine Street Jug Band played there.
Oh, they drove the bus over the bridge.
Over the bridge.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I was like, you guys are crazy. And people are like, you don't know what you're talking about. I go, 1, I'm from Boonville, and 2, I know how much a bus weighs, and you're not supposed to drive it over a rickety bridge like that.
I wish we had cell phones back then. So yeah, that was that.
I did. I had a pager and a cell phone, but that's another story too.
Yeah.
Right, so you're basically now 2000.
2000.
When did you open EC? Let's get that date.
So that's 02.
02. All right. So for a couple of years, you're booking gigs. You did bands at I don't know if you were working with Tommy at Chips.
Yeah,
but I know at the
bunch of shit,
Metro train station,
all that shit. Yep.
So you were hustling.
The Devereaux did a bunch of shit at the Devereaux too.
Yep. So you were out hustling for a couple years before you get into the EC. Any good stories from your hustling days?
I don't remember any of them. They're in the middle of my blackout years. And I would like to add, at that point in time, though I did like you at Big Cypress, going into those hustling days, we fell off.
You're like, Big Cypress over. I was wasted.
You got a little sketchy.
Yeah, well, it was Sketchy's my middle name.
There's a song out there about you called Chief Black Cloud, but that's a little bit later in the time.
Dude, I got 4 songs.
So what you do?
I have 4, believe it or not. Not all positive, but I got 4. Yeah, I was probably like, I'm not gonna say heavy set or so. I'm gonna say someone you wouldn't normally have sex with,
and you
did. So Big Cypress, like, we hooked up, and then after that, you were like, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
So we're back to not liking each. No, I always liked you. And you know what?
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No,
yes, I did. See?
No, you didn't.
See? This is my show. I'm the host. I want you to listen for a second. I did really like you, and I tried to earn your love. You know, it's like that mean junkyard dog that if you try to go up and pet it, it'll fucking bite you. But if you don't pay attention to it, it finally comes to you. That's our relationship right there.
Okay.
I chased you for 96. Now we're in the 2000. 5 years I've been trying to get your love. Okay, so 2 years. You're blacked out. You're doing shows. I remember you did some great shows then.
A good run.
The jug band at the train station.
Yeah, for sure. If you remember the infamous night that Trey played at the Stanley where he almost brought down the roof, right? Do you remember that night?
I do, because I grabbed Debbie Crusoe and ran. We were under the mezzanine, and I grabbed her and ran up there, and she's like, why? We turned around. I thought it was coming down.
So that night, the EC was actually supposed to open that night, and it didn't because of our liquor license. And that show was like on a Friday. That following Tuesday, Laura and I had a hearing to get our liquor license in New York, and we ended up opening up that following Friday, which ended up being Halloween of 02 or Thursday or whatever it was. But that night, I had to move my show, which was booked at the EC, I had to move it to the train station. And if you remember, there was like fucking 400 or 500 people at the train station, and it was off the charts. And I made a little bit of money. I'm like, yeah, finally, because we were getting kicked in the dirt. It took me like a year. The EC was supposed to open in like 2001. It took us like a year to open up. I had to switch partners. We got denied a liquor license. Laura stepped in, and got a lawyer involved.
You got denied a liquor license, so you got.
Well, I didn't. My previous partner that I was going to go into business with, and then he couldn't get one, so then I sucked Laura into it. Yeah. And she. God bless her soul, man.
God bless Laura, man.
She's a saint, that woman. I'll tell you, she's one of my besties. I love that woman to death. And she's bailed me out of trouble so many times. And I can't believe all the shit I put that woman throughout all those years at the EC. And she still continued to not even love me, but she just continued on to do business with me too. Like, I would have fucking left my ass a long time ago in that business after thinking about all the shit I put that woman through, Listen, I would have kicked my ass to the curb a long time ago if I was her, but she loved it. We did a great thing at the EC. We had a good run, but still at the same time, back then I was a freaking asshole.
Yeah, well.
And again, back to the thing, and I still don't like you at that point in time.
You still don't like me? Now, even more than this, Laura fucking hates me. She did not like me.
Yeah.
Even when me and you started like dating once in a while, I think because we were just.
Can we use a different terminology instead of dating? Like, can we just we kind of.
We said hi to each other.
All right, that's better. That's better than dating. Yeah, me too. I was like, I don't think I ever dated you, but
Oh, that was our producer, and he confused.
The producer.
I'm telling you, it's just, I'm trying to make a reference to a relationship, because I don't know if you know this, but we've known each other for almost 25 years now.
I know we should. If we ever get out of this COVID lockdown, we'll have a party in honor of it.
Yeah, nobody will come, but we'll have a party.
Yeah. So let's get back to
Laura. So now Laura
this is your show. The guest shouldn't be directing the host in the show here, man.
Well, I wasn't done with my. What was that, Todd?
He said there's a lot of comments. We'll get to the comments later. I definitely want. I want to get to the comments. Trust me.
How do I do comments? I don't.
No, don't worry about the comments. Let's just you and me stay focused there.
I'm listening to my producer. What's that, Todd?
Don't listen.
What? What's up? Yeah.
Don't listen to him. Listen to the former host of the show.
All right. So now I got you and Laura, who neither of you like me, and you open a bar on Varick Street.
Right.
And I don't know if you remember this, but I remember walking over with you and Laura and John from the Metro and going to look at the electric company for the first time, which used to be Louis Langtry's.
Yeah. It was vacant for a while. And then John would open it up on like St. Patty's Day and just hustle beer cans out of there. But that was it.
Didn't he have he was going to brew beer in the window or something, right?
Yeah. He had a big vat in the window. He was ahead of the curve back then. Yeah. He was ready to do it. But he just never happened to him. And we got the keys. I remember it was like a Christmas party in like 2001 because I had the keys to the place for like a year before we really opened.
We used to.
And we were going in there just kind of hanging out, like had the plans, but we just couldn't get a liquor license. And finally it happened. And
what a great venue. I mean, the bar, same as the Hubbard House of Boonville, that nice wraparound bar. It needed some work, the coolers and just the whole, it's a little older, but, I thought it was a great spot. I mean, lots of good times there. So you opened up on Halloween because that's your anniversary every year would be Halloween, right?
Oh, too, yeah. Yeah.
So tell me about that.
About Halloween?
Opening up, dude, like your first night.
It was hectic. I don't really remember. I just remember trying to hang the sign up with like JC and Mamrosh, and then we barely opened. We didn't even wear costumes. But Joe played with the band. Joe Sweet, that is. He put a band together. and rocked out. I think it was like Bobby Miller and whomever. And I can't really remember much.
Remember?
Yeah, but,
what do you have? 9 Stories High or
no, that was the Joe Mama.
Joe Mama?
Yeah, one of the Joe Mamas, probably Soul Train or not the Funk Daddies because it wasn't rich. Because Funk Daddies didn't really get back together. So I want to say like maybe 06, and we had that blowout with them on Christmas, which was one of the biggest nights in EC history. Was that Christmas night when was it the Funk Daddies got together at Christmas or
the
it was the biggest night we ever had. Yeah.
Because I remember looking at your capacity sign was you posted right by the bar, and I looked at it. And it was I think like 186, and I'm going. I looked around like there's got to be double that easy, and then I remember a fire truck pulled up or fire marshal, and then they realized it was Stemmer.
Right. Remember? I think they just came in to break his balls, anyways.
Yeah.
It was
they just pull up in front of Devereaux and break his balls.
Yeah.
No, outside front window. So you had so now you're into the EC. Wow, we're into another decade now. So I still don't think we like each other.
Definitely not. You were in and out, but there was a couple times like when you mentioned that you left your DNA in my bedroom. I liked you that night because we played wingmen for each other many nights, right? I will say that.
Did.
I could go on record saying that you are a wonderful wingman. I think you, right, my friend, I'm going to go on record by saying you, my friend, are in the Wingman Hall of Fame. You are. Your jersey should be hanging in the rafters in the Wingman Hall of Fame, pal.
I need a jersey.
Yeah.
I need one.
Yeah.
Where is the Wingman Hall of Fame?
It's right here in Utica.
Well,
right
you know what?
Marathon Hall of Fame.
Stacy, I remember Stacy telling me she was talking to you, but then she told me, she goes, Z needs a wingman. I said, dude, she goes, Boonville, and I call myself Boonville, but she goes, he's a wingman.
Drink.
He will, yeah. He will never say anything about anything. Trust me. And then, so we started hanging. I was your wingman, but you never had to be mine. Like, I was always just whatever.
You were too drunk for someone to be yours. Anyways, listen, wait, continue on. Where are we on the timeline? Because I really like to get to the kidnapping of Lake Placid. And then,
we're not even close yet.
And then the kidnapping of one drummer that we
James. James. We kidnapped. Where's my kidnap list? I haven't even got to any of my questions yet. The kid, Mark Rhubarb is he's on kidnapping list. Where is it? James is on it. You're on it,
right? Yeah, I'm on it.
I'm trying to think who else. There's a couple bands I worked, but that's not your story. But we can go James, you, Mark. I don't remember kidnapping him. He wasn't a big enough star back then.
I do remember of walking into my office at the time at the electric company, and there's you and Gary Clark Jr. having the time of your lives in my office.
How many times did you walk in your office and see me and just shut the door and walk back out?
More like, roll the eyes and say, not again.
And then at what point did you just go, fuck it, I'm coming in my office? It was great though. I mean, because some of the band guys because Gary Clark Jr. started getting recognized.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, being 6'4" black guy after his show in your bar. So it was a nice hideout. Like Mount Blue sometimes. Certain guys, the guys from Mo, Al and Vinny, they'd have to go hide out back there.
Right, yeah. The one comment I do want to make mention, and I'm going to get to all the comments in a little bit. Well, you should, because you're the host of the show.
I don't know. I can't even see them.
And this is why your grade's going to be lowered because you're unprepared for the social media side of things. Hang on.
Todd, can you help me out on this? I can't see comments.
And this is probably a good time for you to ask.
Z, wait a minute. Z, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to pick one randomly. Take your time and answer it. And then my producer is going to walk me through something.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Random question?
No, well, a random comment right now is our good friend Stacy Waterman saying, you're killing her with the shuffling of the papers.
Dude, that's a Dave Letterman. That's Dave Letterman. All right, see, here's your first random question.
Okay.
So when did you first start thinking about the music? Like being in the business, was it by chance? Were you just a fan of music, or did you just know? Because, I mean, you've done everything. You play in bands, which I didn't know you played bass, and you don't suck. And but I mean, you had a venue, you booked gigs, you've worked gigs, you've done everything behind the scenes, been on the stage, DJ'd. I mean, you're like what's that guy from the Saints, the quarterback / running back / receiver, can do everything guy.
I'm the utility guy.
Utility guy. That's where I'm looking for. So when did you kind of think this would be something you wanted to do, or because I know you love doing it, you're still doing it, and we're broke. I mean, we're poor in doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Then we do it for nothing, So let's talk about that for a minute.
Since birth, actually, Aaron, because it's probably the only thing that I know. Music's in my blood. It's in my family. It's the only thing I remember fucking moving my dad's gear when I was 5 years old for him to play gigs, forever. My grandfather was an organist at St. Anthony's Church and playing in Dixieland bands and playing with Chuck Garvey's dad throughout the 50s and 60s, my grandfather, Wes Donaldson. Music's been in my blood. It's the only thing I know. It's the only thing I'm probably going to do. I'm stuck in this world. So this is what I do. So I had to figure out how to maneuver in and out of all facets of music throughout my life to make it a career, but it really got me nowhere because I'm here letting you take over the show and COVID, and we're fucked.
Well, I think people need to know a little bit about you.
Thanks.
I mean, you're a huge influence on not only the music scene, I think the whole cultural scene of Utica. I mean, in '96, I lost my timeline page now. In '96,
because you keep shuffling the papers. Stop shuffling the papers, you won't lose your timeline.
I think like in '96. I mean, I don't. Joe would do open mic night at Captain Trips. Let's talk about Trips for a little bit.
Okay.
And would do open mic night on Tuesdays, and I didn't need the money, so he would give me some free beer, and I'd work the door. And I think that started to create a scene. You and Todd, with the parlor, you on the radio station. But I mean, Trips was actually our bar. It wasn't our venue to go see music. We were there when nobody was there. Right. No bands playing.
Right.
And then booking gigs at the Metro and before you got the Lex Company. But I think you created a scene. Uh-oh, Todd's calling me.
Uh-oh.
Messaging me.
He's sending you comments that you can get to. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, I heard him. You're the guest. You stay out there.
Sorry.
Yeah. Todd's got a great laugh.
This would be probably the perfect time to ask the producer for an extension of time if you want to continue on.
Yeah, why? Where are we at? Holy shit. I mean, is there any rules to this?
There's no rules. Go ahead.
All right. Now I got to get to the comments, so.
So we jumped around. You went back to '96. So how did we go back? How did we go backwards?
Well, because I wanted to get back into Trips and how the scene kind of started.
Okay, got you.
Because I remember you were booking gigs and like advertising, and when Trips was having gigs.
Yeah.
There was a little. I don't know how you want to say it, but. You're a promoter guy, and I think I remember you coming up and like putting posters on telephone poles outside Trips. Didn't go over well.
No. Yeah, I was a fucking cocky little asshole, but thank God Tommy and I work together now, man. I love him. And Tommy, another mentor, and Captain Trip and those guys.
He's the best, man.
For sure.
He used to let me come hang out in his DJ booth with him, which was normally off limits.
Right.
But I would love to go. I loved going up and sitting with him and
Sure.
picking his brain a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, he had great stories, and Captain Chips. I remember first going there, and then like knowing the owner or something as a young kid from my hometown. It was something else, you kind of feel like a little rock star. You're allowed to go in the back room or walk up stage on the stage.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, for sure.
We did spend a few bucks there though.
Couple.
A couple. We definitely didn't drink for free there. Okay, so trips. And then what do you want to do? You want to move into electric company?
It's your show. This is your show. We were already in the electric company. You brought us back.
Well, it's my show.
Exactly.
Okay. So let's go to electric company then.
Okay.
There was 3 of you partnered up at one time.
Shout out Matt Mercer.
Matt Mercer, Gator. You and Laura, and they were kind of behind the scenes, and you were the face of the EC. You were always there, mostly sober. I do have to.
In the beginning, yes.
In the beginning,
sure.
Yeah. You never drank at the bar. You're always at the door, behind the bar, dealing with the bands. You wore all the hats down there. Who are some what's some of your favorite bands? Or first, how about this? Some of the first bands that really started coming into the EC and relationships you built, because a lot of them always came back.
Well, yeah, I was already booking shows prior to all that, so I had a lot of these bands on repeat. So it was cool. I already had a pool.
But you finally had your own venue, so now it was you controlled everything. What you had to get them to put them up somewhere. They crash at your house. Feed them, get them drunk. I know get them drunk was probably the one thing on the rider, but
there's a lot of that.
I mean, once you had control of your own venue, what were the bands that you really built relationships with? I know Rhubarb, I can name a bunch, but
yeah, well, Mont Blue and the Breakfast and the Mo Boys, and I mean, I knew Al and those guys from Mo. I knew Al for years prior to the EC, but didn't really establish that relationship until the EC. And Vinny's like one of my boys, and Jimmy, and like the whole boys from the Mo clan, and Schleho, if you remember Schleho.
I do remember Schleho.
We had a lot of fun.
What a great band.
Bellicose was such a great band, and
Bellicose.
Remember those posts? Yeah, we had a lot of great nights with them, and Hanky Cupcakes. I mean, the list goes on and on. So I made a Spotify playlist. And if you want to go check it out, I put a bunch of those bands up there, and I'm looking to add some more.
I've been listening to your playlist.
But there's just so many of them, man. There's just so many of them. I can't really keep. John Brown's Body, that was a great show. We had the Sugar Hill Gang play there. Bernie Worrell play there. I mean, just there was a lot of stuff. So
and when you came in, it was like going into Wolf's Den, because you had your regulars, and we didn't care who you were. You got on the stage. You rocked out. If you didn't want to get drunk, you ended up getting drunk. You kidnapped.
Couple times.
But I think bands, I don't know. I've been to a lot of venues, and I've never seen craziness like I saw at the Lux Company. I think people loved coming back and loved your bar and loved us. I mean, we were always respectful to the bands, but they had a lot of fun. We take them out. We drop them off when they had to check out their hotel rooms. We drop them off so they can get to their next gig. I
will add this by saying a couple after-hour parties, a couple famous quotes that I remember from my blackouts is one band I won't name in particular, but we all know and love them, and we've partied with them many times. And the one dude was falling off at the end of the night, and the one kid was like, "Come on, dude, we're in Utica." And like that was to pump them up. Like Utica had this stigmatism of like we got to step up because we're in Utica. We gotta step up our game, our music game, our party game, our good vibe game. So we had that stigmatism attached to us. And then the other one that was like, yeah, I got to get primed up for Utica. Like they used to get in shape to come to Utica to come party and entertain us.
You had to. I mean, if you didn't bring your A game,
we had a reputation.
The bar would be over. We'd go over to O'Donnell's, be outside, or whatever, and you're playing in front of nobody if you don't bring your A game. I mean, you can't mail one in at the Elects Company with us folks there. Z, let me interrupt. I do have a couple. Todd, if you could do this again too, it's easier for me. W. Miko, two of her favorite, right here. We both slept on each couch one night.
Oh yeah, she actually woke me up, pushed me off out of the way to flash everybody in the window one night.
She was gracious enough to let us.
I love you, Debbie.
Each have the couch. I think it was Vinny's 40th birthday party when Fish played.
Oh yeah, that's an epic weekend too.
I remember.
And then we also went there to go watch a Super Bowl one day. You and I. Yep.
Yes, I do remember that. The Vinny birthday party. I think we're the only two people that stayed, and we slept pretty good amount of the day off, and we woke up and like the family, the girls were young, and they were like sitting around the island making breakfast, and I think we had a cat. We each had a cat with us, and
yeah, we definitely overstayed our welcome.
Not really. They just let us sleep it off. I mean, Jesus Christ, there's probably tents in the backyard.
Yeah, that's true.
So Brian Badger wants to know who the old guy is. I'm gonna assume he's talking about me because I got the most gray.
I want to repeat that you look great, pal. You really do. You look healthy. You're standing upright. You're 6 feet above ground. I mean, you look great.
Yes. I was going to say, I always stood upright.
Yeah.
Even when I was really, in my drinking days. But you mean upright in general.
Upright in general. Like you're up.
I mean, I got up and had coffee and was going to walk the dog, but it's snowing outside. So Badger, I am the old guy. I am Aaron Marr, and I actually am the older guy. You're 2-3 years younger than me. Rob Slocum? Wow, Sloke. He says I do look pretty good.
You do.
Slocum tuned in.
Sloke on the water.
Yeah. Garrett, enough shuffling papers. Yeah. That's my that's my Dave Letterman.
Yeah, that's fine. I dig it, man. It's
I have it. Listen, I got the timeline. That's the only one I've looked at. I just keep shuffling around because I got them.
Right, Mr. Blake.
Sure, that's what I'm shuffling around.
Shuffling blank papers.
Dude, I didn't have index cards. JC Rush, Rebecca, come to Philly. Hey, let's go to Philly and do a cast from there.
We should.
Oh, you gotta go. Have you ever been down to see Rebecca?
I have never been to Philly. She told me she couldn't get rid of you one week.
She couldn't. I didn't want to go. You know what I was doing is I ran out of money and I had to wait for my unemployment check to come in before I could leave. Mm-hmm. That's the truth. I laid on her couch. She went to work every day. I cooked dinner one night, went out to dinner, me, her, and Chrissy. Had Bob Barker. Her kid loved Bob Barker.
Who doesn't? Who didn't? Rest in peace, Bob.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna put Bob up there. I got his little shelf in the other room. But and then she took me down to the Fillmore. Where she worked. We went to Jim's Steakhouse at Philly. Yeah, we could rip down there. It's only like 4 or 5 hours, Z.
Let's do it. What else we got for comments?
Let's rip down there. Hang on.
I'm interested in what everybody has to say. I have it, but I can't see all the comments
excuse
on my
me.
iPad.
Excuse
sorry,
me.
sir. Sorry.
Z.
I forgot.
Whose show is this? Writing a note to myself. Yeah. My show. Let's see. My show. Shots. Oh, JC Rush wants to do shots. You know what? I drank it last night, JC.
Too early.
I saved one, and I drank last night. I'm on the coffee. That's all I got. I got Cousin Kelly's jump. Are you sending me more? Oh, cousin Kelly thinks I got a badger beard. Well, says I look handsome.
You do
She's
look
a
good. I
fourth-
told you.
She's a fourth cousin. She can say that. Actually, she's second cousin.
I got a couple here. So Stacy's saying big ups to Laura for sure. Big ups to Laura. Laura's I love her to death. I hope Laura watches this because she deserves a lot of recognition and she did a lot for me and I love her to death. And it's not I'm nowhere. She's a mentor as well too. I'm nowhere without Laura. So thank you, Puddin. I love you for everything you've done for me.
Let me get back to.
Stacey's saying, I like this motherfucker right away. Look at me. I haven't liked him in years. See, Aaron, you have that way on people, dude. All right, go ahead. It's your show.
Yeah, I'm like gonorrhea. So Laura, so she didn't like me either. And then
She still doesn't.
Well, she did name her son Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was, I think she just liked the name. It wasn't after me, but that's my story. Me and Laura, she's a sweetheart. We built a relationship. It took time. I'm like a fine wine.
Mm-hmm.
I really, you and Laura are two of my favorite people.
Well, thanks, Aaron.
Yeah.
I can't say the same, but thank you.
Well, you will. I mean, we still got 10 more years.
I love you. You know I like kidding.
Listen, if you're not my friend, I'm not going to if I make it to 60, you know how much money I win? You know what the over-under on that was? Todd, are you sending me? Todd.
There's a ton of comments out here. You gotta
Wait,
you're
I got
you're
some.
the host. Yeah, go ahead. You're the host.
I got some. Oh, Jessica. Remember Jessica? We met her out at Sterling Stage. Jessica Gill.
Hi, Jess.
She says hi. Everett Smith wants summer wheat back. So, Saranac, bring summer wheat back. Oh, Kara Hunter.
Kara?
Loving the paper shuffling. See, that's a beautiful person. She digs it. She digs it.
You have this thing. People are commenting about it all over the place because it's your nervous habit that you need to make that. But you're doing a great job, pal. I must say you're doing a great job. You are.
Thank you. I feel like I'm talking too much because
I mean, it's just that I feel like as long as I've known you, I feel like you're talking less than you normally would. So.
Oh, I was watching some of your other interviews.
Right.
What do you say?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I was watching some of Z's stuff, and he's, you ask a question, let some people ramble, but you get some people that give you a couple words for an answer, and then you get people that tell a story. So you got to adapt to
in and out.
Doing the interview.
Bobbing and weaving, baby. Bobbing and weaving. What else have we got for comments?
Ryan Quinn, I can't see that. That's all I got. I mean, Todd.
We got tons, actually.
Shouldn't I be able to?
Stacey said best show ever.
Oh, wait. Here comes my producer. Copy
there you
that,
go.
Todd. Yeah. I don't know why I can't see
Boy,
him.
who runs this show is freaking Bush League. I'll tell you, man, the host of this show really needs to fine-tune his skills.
All right, so Z, it was great having you on the show. Our next guest coming up after these sponsors is Jim Gaffigan, and then Zeppelin is getting back together for one show only here at the D Network.
Awesome. Can't wait.
So what about Eddie and his moving company? He's a hustler.
At EGA Moving Services, yep.
EGA, yeah. That kid is a go-getter, that's for sure. If you need anything done, and I imagine whatever you need done, he'll figure out a way to do it, huh?
Yes. Eddie's a logistics guy. He gets it done for sure.
I did have a phone number. You got a contact number, Z? Or?
Yeah, 335-0516.
05. Very good, my man.
Thank you.
And
Thank
Utica Coffee, big shout out. Thank you.
Yeah.
I got my little Italian percolator. I grind it up and
I'm
Whenever
telling
I
you,
get a chance to get it.
pal, you know, if I'm your first guest on the show, I'm really setting the bar pretty high. So, I mean, you're going to have to really dig deep for better guests.
This is gonna be my one and only. Oh no, you know what? I gotta interview Todd.
There you go. Right.
I'm gonna do, and then I'm done.
Another one that has to put up with me too. Another one that has to put up with me.
And listen, he's got the best laugh in your ear, though, doesn't he? Z, anybody else you want to mention as sponsors?
All right, so Johnson's out here saying, "What's up, co-captain over there?" So, are you the co-captain with you and Johnson?
That was the trip to New York Giants. Dallas won with the field goal.
That's it. Ugh, don't remind me.
We rode back with. Remember, we had those blow-up Motorola headsets.
Yeah, and Stacey commented that we should be wearing those right now. And I do have mine.
I don't have mine. I
have mine right. It's in isolate right now.
So he had to drive, and of course he doesn't drink. He's driving an RV full of. There's Charlie. Oh, Charlie, where you going? He's no Bob Barker, but he's learning. And he had to drive us all back. Mike Howe, God bless his soul, was on board. Lee from Under the Gun. Eddie. Yeah. I got some good pictures from that, but I was the lone Dallas fan. So rolling in, I just wore a blue hat because Dallas and the Giants are both blue. So, you know, I didn't want to get beat up. I didn't know how crazy it's going to be. But on the ride home, Johnson was stuck driving in that blizzard, and everybody's in the back just getting tuned up. So I sat with Johnson with the headsets on, and we talked like we were a pilot and a co-pilot in the airplane. That's great. Remember that. That was great. I had a 12-pack Utica club between my legs.
So Jenny D is calling you the Silver Fox, the superstar.
Superstar Jenny D, she's the best.
Callie K from Electric Blue and the Cosmic Truth saying this is fucking amazing.
I love Callie, man.
I love Callie too.
See, you got to start booking some gigs.
She's been on the show? She's been on the show?
No, not the show. Some, maybe a little smaller venue. We've got it.
So Nagel is saying, Boonville looks like a guy I want to do my taxes. How time has flown by for him. Time flies by.
Hey, one thing I can do is I can hide your money. I can do your taxes, Nagel. Trust me.
Everett Smith saying fourth cousins are legal in Boonville. Is that true?
Fourth? Shit. I think anything after second cousin in Boonville. But I'm not related to anybody in Boonville, so.
Yeah, and then they're saying, yo, Boonville. So, actually, Aaron, since I'm the guest, I'd actually like to switch gears a little bit. I have a couple questions I have for you.
No, not happening. But Kara, I want a little shout out to Kara Hunter. That's your goddaughter.
My goddaughter's
Haley.
mom, yes. Yeah. Shout out to Haley.
And we were just talking about last night.
Yes,
she's dope, right? Haley's dope.
An amazing athlete, and she's going to do good in life too. And Kara's killing it too.
Well, you know, I have father. I don't know about that guy, but you know, Kara's a sweetheart. You know?
Absolutely, love her to death.
Yeah.
Love
she put up with us. You know what I mean?
Indeed, and a lot. Many have.
I don't know, like if she really liked me off the bat either. She was a hard one to get a hold of. I don't. Todd, what else you send me? You keep sending me the same ones, Todd.
Debbie's here. Callie wants you to know that Debbie's watching this. Debbie Caruso. So give her a little shout out. I remember you guys
DC
getting in a fist fight at my mom's house. Yeah, but we did have many nights. Well, let's talk about you coming in hot in Florida when everybody left you in Florida, and you showed up to Debbie's house. And
you're interviewing me now. Do you really? You want the real story?
Yeah, because I got a couple more questions I really need to ask you. I got like maybe two I got to throw at you.
How much time we got, Todd?
A few more minutes, but
what's a few more minutes? I need time. -10. All right, Z, you want to ask a couple questions? Because I've asked you one question. I asked Todd, I go, either I'm going to run out of questions or I'm probably only going to get to two. And he goes, probably two. I got the one. And we're not even done with the timeline. We might have to schedule. Hey, Todd, book me Z again. Would you for me, please? Yeah, no, but just bump somebody. But yeah, bump him. Yeah, put Z in that slot. Yeah.
All right, cool. Just have your people call my people.
Well, that's Todd. He's your guy, but he's my guy now too. Man, I had some great questions, Z.
Yeah.
All right, you want to ask a couple questions?
Yes. Can I just? I got two questions, two very important questions.
Yeah, so we're gonna get to one.
Okay, I got two.
All
right. So, what is your obsession with taking everybody's keys?
Oh, I did it one time. It's not
one time.
Did it one time. Hey,
one time.
Danny Webster and Rich Stemmer took my car and left me and Devin in Oswego.
Danny Webster and Rich
No,
Stemmer.
I'm saying I never took a car. How you go ahead and name keys?
You just used to take people's keys and take off, and you would have people's keys in their pockets.
One time
we couldn't find you. This
one time.
Several.
One time.
Several.
See, this is why I don't want you hosting the show.
All right. Here's the last
That's not a question. That's an accusation. And if you can name any other persons besides Beecham's keys.
Beecham, Marquis, it was all of ours.
It was
on that list
Marquis and Beecham. But Marquis didn't have a car, dude.
It's true.
It was Beecham one time. Next
we'll jump
question.
off this question, and this will probably be the only one. Well, actually, there's another one I might throw in there, but I want to know the most embarrassing thing you've made your mom do for you.
I don't even know what that means.
Like, what's the most embarrassing thing your mom had to do for you to get you either out of trouble or to protect you or something like that? Something that your mom had to do for you to get you out of trouble or.
Well, not embarrassing, but I can tell you. No,
you don't have to be embarrassed. We're being brothers here, man.
I'm saying my mom's never embarrassed. Shit, my mom let me rot in jail. Are you kidding me? But I got arrested. I got a great story. I got arrested at the Utica Odd. I was probably 16 or 17. It was I'll tell you the lineup. It was probably Chuck Chao's show. It was Kip Winger. It was the Bullet Boys, and it was Rat. Cinderella. And, of course, we snuck beers in. We were shotgunning beers. And we were sitting above a little section, where you walk out of the venue and, to go to the bathroom through the little tunnel. And up above, there was a little area you could sit. And so I was, sitting on the railing, not in a chair, kind of hanging over. And a Utica cop looked up at me and basically gave me the, get the fuck out, sit your ass down. I'm going to come get you, look. And I never had an experience with a Utica officer at this time. And he left, and I put my ass right back where it was. And he saw me, and I didn't see him. He sneaks around, and he grabs me by the back of the collar and puts a licking on me, to say the least, and takes me to the police station. And I asked him for his badge number. Not a good move. I asked him for pen and paper, and he goes, "What, do you want my badge number?" So he beat me up some more on the way over. He took my shoelaces. My friend came over. They wouldn't release him. They made me call my mom. And my mom said, "Let him rot." And my mom's boyfriend said, "We got to go get him." So mom's always bailed me out, but she was never the mom that said my boy wouldn't do that or my boy didn't do that. She didn't stick up for me. She knew if it was probably true, but and I got it, and I missed Cinderella.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I got Bullet Boys and Kip Winger, in which whatever. Yeah.
You missed Tom Kiefer coming from the ceiling with the grand piano. And that was one of my first concerts, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of my first two. Saw Bon Jovi there. I saw Crew there. Poison. All Chael shows, I assume.
I got a question from another friend of ours. Wants to know if you've ever been smacked in the head with a dildo before.
I have not.
You have not? No.
I have not.
Have you ever thrown one yourself?
No, I wouldn't say throw.
No. Okay.
You kind of toss still, you know.
I got you.
It's like a horseshoe. Got to be careful. I don't have the questions. You're gonna. Oh,
those are the only
captain. Silver Fox.
You got him now.
Callie, you're amazing, Callie. And I don't know if Callie really liked me off the bat, but we became fast friends. I had her love. She finally was like, "This motherfucker's crazy, but he's funny."
She liked you because you had whiskey, dude.
I did.
Yeah,
well. You know what? I was a good host. I mean,
you were though.
I hooked Warren Ames up with a bag of weed when he played at Captain Chips. I lived across the street. I walked over. I didn't know they were even playing. And he come off the bus, and somebody looked and went, "He's got some." And so he took me on the bus with Warren. I didn't even really know who he was. I lived with Mike Modulewski across the street. Remember that place?
Oh, yeah, brother. I do.
And Pizza Pat, the old Pizza Pat, across the street from Chips. Todd, you got any questions you want to ask Z?
This is your show.
How about talking about what's that, Todd? Any questions? So your producer, I got some notes from your producer, Z.
It's your producer. This is your show.
Oh, my producer, Todd. And I'm telling you what, people, this guy's top notch, top shelf producer. I mean, I could have done it without him. So he gave me some notes. He said, notes from Todd. I'll tell you when to start. Good luck and don't fuck it up. What more can you? I mean, the direction from this cat.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Oh, and I found out my best friend fired him from one of his jobs. Can I say it, Todd? Do you care? Todd goes, "I'm good friends with one of your friends, but he fired me." But it all worked out.
It all worked out.
Yeah, so, I couldn't imagine. That job probably sucked anyhow. All right, Z, I want to ask you another question like I wrote down.
Okay.
Let me see. All right, yeah, I'm honored that you let me on the show.
It's your show.
Welcome, everybody. Yeah. I've known you for 20, I said 20 years, but it's actually 96 to, I mean, we're going on 2021, 25 years. So this is our 25th anniversary in
next year.
September. No, this is September, right?
Next year.
Close enough.
So I don't know what day it is. You don't know what year it is. I don't know what day it is.
Oh, all right, see, here's a great question. Reflecting back of when you were that young kid carrying your dad's gear around. Oh, and I had a good time with your dad. That's a story. If I got a couple minutes, Todd, let me rewind. We went to SU basketball game. I think Damon gave us tickets.
That's right. I do
Me,
remember
your
that.
father, your brother.
Yeah.
It was a blizzard, and we decided your father and your brother drove back to Utica, and we decided to go see a friend of ours, Stacy Waterman, at the country club or whatever it was at, and we saw Under the Gun.
Yep.
And then we drove home in a blizzard, and you parked in her backyard. You drove my truck.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, a couple Jaeger bombs involved there, but
I don't. I mean, I remember it, but I don't remember any specifics from that night.
I do.
Okay.
It was, we met up and we had a great time at the basketball game. All right, so Z, question for you. You know, reflecting back though to those days where you, were carrying gear and you said it was in your blood and it's what you wanted to do. Did you ever think or comprehend where you'd be now? I mean, you've done it all. I mean, the next step would be to lose your wife's retirement like Chuck Cheo did, doing big shows. But
why you even got to go there?
What's that?
Why do you even got to go there?
Go where? It's my
Wait,
show.
all right. That's kind of hurtful, man. It's our boy.
Yeah, but he did. He's trying to get it back.
Man.
Hey, I was there. I got a poster.
Yeah.
Okay. So
what am I
anyways,
reflecting back on?
on where you're at now, in everything you've done in 25 years of music that I remember you from.
Yeah. I'm reflecting. You want me to reflect on it? What a ride it's been. All the people that have weaved in and out of my life. I've met some great characters. I have so many great friends, and all my friends are because of music. I can go down my friends list right now on Facebook and look through that list, and I have the common denominator with everybody is probably music. And I've met so many great people through the Mo community, through the festival community, through the metal community, through the jam band community, through the Syracuse music scene, the Buffalo music scene, Rochester, Albany, shout out Danny Taylor, like all of upstate New York, man. It's like,
Danny Taylor.
We've got it on lock, man. And shout out to the Pirate Crew and everything that we're doing. And we like to stay busy. So hopefully all this crap comes back so we can all get back to work and have fun again.
How is the Pirate Crew doing with the whole virus and no gatherings?
Well, nobody's working, so we're all just sitting around collecting data, I guess, or I say increasing our data, right, on our phones. But we'll get back and party like it's 2021. That's the song that should be written right now. Party like it's 2021, because 2021 is going to be a party.
What's going on with any your bands from the past? Once this virus breaks, any gigs, any reunions, the Brass Knuckle?
You never know. I'm open for anything.
Well, it'd be great.
Street Rock's talking about doing it, but we'll figure something out, man.
Yeah. Well, all right. We were rolling for a while, and then we just kind of fade off there.
Well, this is kind of your show. I mean, this is what I expected.
Yeah, I know. I was picking on your buddy Cheo, and now you're mad at me.
No.
See, this is the real Z in my relationship. He doesn't fucking like me. Now he's like, he's trying to take over my show. I think what's in that coffee cup?
I got tea, actually. Yerba mate.
Oh.
It's empty, actually. Well, there's a little bit left.
Are you going to put the mask on and do a show tonight, Z?
Actually, I made a post on Facebook. If everybody's friends with me on Facebook, you can follow along. I'll go live on my personal page. But I made a post earlier about all the local bands in the area. So if people want to drop their thing, I'll do a little local band shout out to everybody sometime tonight. I don't know, probably. Usually I like to do it around 9 o'clock. So, so I'll go live on my Facebook page and give shout out to all the local bands, because I am
11 o'clock tonight.
Local music scene.
11 o'clock tonight?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Why did I say 11?
Well, no, I thought that's when you normally would go on.
No, that was the other night. Yeah. I've learned from my mistake that going on that late really gets me in some trouble.
I think it's great.
Thanks, bud. Thank you.
I think it's great because a lot of people I noticed are up. They got the kids at the house. The kids go to bed, and they're trapped in their house. I think what you're doing, and you get a lot of people back together in the community, and dealing with this bullshit virus. Everybody's stuck at home, and you can always tune in whenever and catch it, even if you missed it. And
absolutely.
I think it's great.
Thanks, man. I can't believe it took you 3 years to figure it out that this is what I'm doing, but I'm glad you're finally on board, bro. But I'm glad you're finally here.
I forgot to mention that when you were just talking about starting to do this, I was around.
You were,
and we talked about it. I thought you were crazy, but I also thought you had to have like 24 hours of program or whatever, and you're doing it. Yeah. And I've watched 4 episodes, and now I'm hosting. I mean, you're out of your mind.
I know, but this has been fun, though.
Yeah, no, it's been great. And by the way, I'm picking on Chuck. He's spent a career breaking my chops for everybody. If it wasn't for Gene Cheo, Chuck would crucify me.
Yeah, it's true.
That woman saved you. That woman saved you multiple times.
Multiple.
Yes.
But you know why? When she wants to have a glass of wine, when the box office toned down, who's standing there with a cup of ice?
You are.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm not stupid.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna do my last. And any more comments that you can see?
There is. You want me to go through the comments? I can.
Go through a couple because my producer, I think, had to go. Yeah, he had to pick up the kids from the babysitter.
All right, Kelly thinks this interview is iconic, which I kind of agree with her. I think this has been fun.
It is iconic, yeah.
Waterman is saying that you and Marky went to court a couple times for that bullshit bust in Turin.
Tell Stacy, I saw that shit bum judge at the dump the other day, and he's a little weasel, and I called him out on it. Because he got fired and got sued, and yeah.
And Callie is saying you were always good to her.
I love her. How can you not?
Yeah, right. I love her too, for sure.
Jesus Christ. I mean, I love her at a personal level, but just she gets on stage, forget about it.
And then she's saying, I was always the greatest champion of the scene for real. Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate that. Eric is saying, who would you like to collaborate, living or dead? And would that be me or you know who I'd like to collaborate?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to collaborate.
Don't pick mine.
Huh?
Dead?
No.
Or living?
I'm
going dead. Chuck D?
It'd probably be some hip hop dude. I don't know. Maybe Be Real. Be Real. Actually, Be Real. I don't know. Right now, today, it's going to change tomorrow anyway. So right now, I'll probably get down with like the Cypress Hill guys.
Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix.
Just to be able to see him play.
Stacy wants to know if we talked about the Phil Les show.
Oh, the first show. Okay. Todd, how much? Still got time?
We've been out of time about an hour and a half ago.
Does it matter though, or is it just like Todd sick of this shit and wants to do something? Dude, listen, I'm sitting on a 5-gallon bucket.
He's got to go to the bathroom. You're holding up the bathroom.
I've shit twice. The Phil Les story, do I have like 5 minutes, Todd, and we'll call it quits? Okay. So this is part of the timeline we haven't got to, but it was, I'll tell you the date. It was December 4th, 2005. It's when it was a Tuesday night. Well, before the show, Tuesday night, I go into Lex Company, and Anthony's sitting at the bar. It's open mic night. There's really no one there. And like I said, he never really drank at the bar that often, but he was drinking, and he decided to invite me to see Phil Les and Friends with Chris Robinson from the Black Crowes. And it was in Albany with Damon and ex-girlfriend, an ex-wife, and then me. And I wasn't really in much shape for the trip, and I didn't think Z was serious. Backstage, this, that. Well, they came and got me. I'd been up all night playing poker and partying. Came and got me, threw me in the chalk, and we go to the Armory. And
you slept all the way up there?
I slept the whole way there. I remember bringing a bag. Like, I just grabbed the big Ziploc bag and jumped in the car, passed out, and we couldn't find a place, so we couldn't get in. And I thought it was bullshit. And all of a sudden, the back, Stacy, who I hadn't known at the time, pops her head out, sees you and David, waves. And I was like, if that garage door opens up and we fucking drive in the Armory, I'm going to shit right in my pants. And we pull in and we go up and we park between Stacy's production office and Phil Les's dressing room. And it was Phil Les, Chris Robinson, and Vinny Amico talking.
And John Schofield?
John Schofield was sat in for the guitar players. Someone in the family got sick or whatever. So he was sitting there. They're all standing there. I get out. I don't know what's going on. We got a truckload of Saranac. And you look over and see Vinny, and something came out of your mouth like, Hey, what up, you guinea motherfucker, or guinea wop or something. And Phil Lash and Chris Robinson and those guys were horrified. Schofield, you can't scare him, but. And I just looked over and I said, "It's okay, everybody. They're both Italian." And that was it. And then I walked in and we ended up sitting with Stacy, Billy. And Chael comes walking in and goes, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And we were sitting there counting tickets with Big Brian. That was Phil Lush. That was mine and Stacy's first date. And for some reason, she took a liking to me. I was a hot mess, too.
Yeah. You've had a tumultuous relationship, too.
Yeah. And then she, I think a little bit after that, Chuck had, or somebody had to show at the Odd, and she just needed somebody that knew their way around Utica. And she called me. I was living over at on Jason Street with Hulk and Tori were upstairs. And that was the beginning of that story. But that's about me. It's not about you.
That was a great night.
I don't have you in. I don't. Then I'd miss you for like 5 years. So you had your bar. But yeah, that was a great night. That was the introduction of the mayhem to ensue with DMR and Stacy Waterman and Chuck Chael, and it's still going.
It's been a fun ride for sure.
It's been a great ride.
I always say all my friends are in Syracuse. Really, I mean, no offense to my friends in Utica too, but like, you know, we have meetups every week and talk, and like I'm on the phone with these guys all the time, more so than I am with my Utica friends too. You know, so but it's all good. We're all one big family, though. You know,
Stacy always wanted to go to Utica, and I always wanted to go to Syracuse.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, I feel a better connection because I think Utica was more her friends. In Syracuse, it was everybody, you know, was probably trying to get a gig or get a job or get it backstage, or, you know, she could come to Utica and it was like a little vacation, you know, from the scene. Because she,
for sure.
Not she blew up in Utica though, but she loves Utica. We used to have the Wednesday night barbecues on Jason with Phelpsy and Damon would deep fry anything. Deep fry anything. If you had it, they deep fry it. So, folks, I hate to say it, but we're into our second hour by 3 minutes. Todd's got to poop. I got to poop.
Haven't really gone 2 hours?
We're hour 33.
Holy shit. Yeah.
And I got one question out.
Okay.
So, I got one question. The dog's got to poop. Now I don't know what to do, though.
This has been a pleasure, though. I enjoyed
this has been great, G. I really thank you.
It's been awesome.
I really thank you for giving me the opportunity. It was fun. I wanted people to know a little bit about you, too, you know. And I know you don't like to be on that side of it, but and I want to thank your sponsors, and hopefully you still have them after this. What are you laughing at, Todd? You could be out of a job, pal. Thanks, everybody, for joining in. Thank you, Z.
Thank you, Aaron.
Why don't you do the thank you?
Tell everybody to share this out on Facebook land. We want to spread the message a little bit. If you could, like Disruption Network on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, disruptionnetwork.net for all the backlog content that we have here. We have got like 10 shows on the network, so check us out on the interwebs, disruptionnetwork.net. You can find all the shows. It's where you've been hanging out the last couple of days, I gotta say, Aaron. So it's cool. I'm glad you're finally on board.
It's great, man. I sit here and I play them, and then I go, like last night I went and made a cake, but I could hear, you know, I just let your interviews. The Paulie Fulham Johnson interview was great.
Jesus.
You know,
and so now you can watch this one and share it, and now you have one under your belt, and who knows, maybe you got a future in podcasting yourself, pal.
Well, you are going to have to let me do it one more time, because we still got the Chael Stacy years.
Yeah, we didn't even cover a whole decade, huh?
No, we didn't get through a decade. So,
all right.
If people listen, if you like this and would like to see a part 2 of my interview of Anthony Donaldson, please send comments. Please send them text. Please poke them and tell them what a great time it was, because it's great to hear some of your stories. And I promise I'll do less talking.
I don't know.
I'll do more paper shuffling and less talking.
I don't know if Todd can handle another episode though.
Todd, I want to send him a care package. I will. I'll send you a cake. I'll send Todd. I'm going to send you a picture of the cake, and once you see it, you're going to be like, "Damn, I'll do another show for a cake." Double fudge chocolate with homemade frosting. All right, I got to go rake the lawn.
See you, buddy.
We'll see you, Z. Thanks a lot. Thanks, everybody. And we'll see you again for chapter 2, part 2. Bye-bye.